What's up, guys? Jebber Gaming Jaws here, and today I wanted to just talk about the state of YouTube when it comes to retro video games. It seems to me that I've been having a much harder time finding content on YouTube about retro video games. And a lot of times, I know that there is more content out there. There's a lot of smaller content creators, and those are the ones that I really look for. A lot of the times, it seems like people have moved towards the streaming or Twitch, that sort of way of interacting with games, which is fine. It's just not what I prefer. My absolute favorite YouTube videos to watch are people's personal memories, stories, experiences, thoughts, reviews sometimes. I like to hear each individual's experience with different games and systems. I think that that keeps it super fresh. Like the Super Nintendo came out, and that was a thing, and you can learn a whole bunch about like when it came out and like what was happening in the market, but that's finite. Like you can only research that to a certain point before you literally know everything about it. But what is infinite literally is to find other people who experienced the Super Nintendo and find out what was their experience, what games were they playing, what were they doing with their friends, what was the did they prefer the Genesis over it? Were they arguing with their friends in that console battle? Like, I love learning about how these different consoles and different games affected people at the time. I just think that that's super, super fun. There's a lot of YouTubers who have done a ton of those kinds of videos. One of my absolute favorites is the Happy Console Gamer. He has gone through so many video game memories, and it's just freaking awesome. I love hearing the Game Chasers and Adam Koralik and just so many. There's like literally like a shit ton. Like I can't even go through all of them. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I've also noticed that a lot of the bigger channels, it seems like they've been moving from retro. Even the ones that were primarily retro to begin with have been moving towards a lot more heavily into modern gaming, which I have no problem with modern gaming. I love modern gaming. I play a lot of modern gaming. But in moving towards a lot of modern gaming stuff, they've been leaving behind a lot of the retro content. And I think there's different reasons for that. I think one of them being the YouTube algorithm and the fact that retro stuff just isn't quite bringing in the views that modern gaming does. And that completely makes sense. I mean, I just think that there's more people interested in modern gaming. It's pretty much anybody. All these kids out there who are on YouTube all day, every day, are all into modern games. Whereas, us older folks who care about the retro stuff, it's not as much there for the views and stuff. But I think another reason is that a lot of the channels that started out real heavy into retro stuff have kind of maybe exhausted their own stories. Like they're kind of tired of rehashing the same stuff, and maybe they've just run out of different things to talk about. I think another reason that it's kind of gone down a bit is that the prices for collecting have been so insane for such a long time that it seems like it's just kind of knocked the wind out of people. And that's really unfortunate because it was so fun, like 5 years ago on YouTube. It was like there was just such a hype going about retro video games and collecting and finding good deals that were under the market value, because a lot of people were finding those deals on a regular basis, and now that just seems to have gone away quite a lot. It's to the point now, it's like you hear about a good deal and it's like, what? It's like a unicorn. It's like, it just feels like nowadays if you're not paying retail, you're not getting games. So even the shows like the NES Pursuit or the Game Chasers, like they're obviously struggling to find the same kind of deals that they used to find, and it's just a bummer. It's just a sad reality. But I say all this to put forth that I am looking for more YouTube channels. And what I've been finding the most success with are smaller YouTube channels, kind of similar to mine, like very low production value, just like people who are just passionate about the hobby. And those have become kind of my favorite channels to look for, because a lot of the times it seems like they're doing it completely for passion. It doesn't have to be done for views. They're not, making money off of it, or not making any sizable, crazy amount that it's like they need to bring in that money. So that's really, really fun. And yeah, I I think ultimately I just want to find more content creators out there who are still passionate about retro games and just video games in general too, but just like sharing your own personal experience like I talked about earlier. That's just a really important thing to me when it comes to YouTube. And I just love being connected with other gamers who are into the same stuff. And I love watching content of people sharing video game memories, console memories, um, talk about your favorite games, all that kind of stuff. Show your collections. Like, I love seeing people's collections. I'm not the biggest fan of pickup videos. I don't know why. I stopped doing those on my own channel. I've been thinking that I'm probably going to just do console collection videos, and then from there on, maybe eventually doing like an update, because I don't like I just hate the format of like every month or so being like, oh, I got all of this shit, and it's boring to me. So I don't know. All right, guys, I think I've rambled on long enough. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts or ideas, or if you can point me in the right direction to maybe some other content creators who are kind of doing similar things to what I've talked about. And I would love to hear it. If you have any videos like that, I'd love to hear it. If it's inspiring you to maybe make some videos like that, I would freaking love to hear it. Like, let's just talk about our experiences. Like, I want to hear, like, what was the Dreamcast like for you? Like, that's my favorite sort of thing to hear. Like, did you buy one? Like, did your friends have one? Did you play it with your friends, with your family? What games were you playing? How did you save up the money for it if you were a kid? Just like that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Peace out. Hope you're having a good one. Jebber Gaming Jaws, out.